So today I will be trying to persuade you guys, my audience, on increasing signups for community volunteers. And the organization I'd like to talk about is UMOM, New Day Centers, which is in Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona. And it's something that's very close to me because I've grown up in a low income neighborhood and seeing homeless people is quite the norm there. Approximately 1.6 million children will experience homelessness over the course of a year. In any given day, researchers estimate that over more than 200,000 children have no place to live. Homelessness is a never-ending problem in the world. Although the world may be aware that there are homeless people, it is rarely discussed on the severity and the extreme need for volunteers and supporters. UMOM works in providing care for the homeless in more ways than one, and is in need of volunteers more than ever. Like I said, I grown up in an area where people struggle to meet their basic daily needs, where privileges are not spoon fed to children, and where homelessness is a concern for many families on a weekly basis. On top of that, I've spent many of my volunteer hours at the UMOM organization and witnessed firsthand the amazing feats this organization has overcome. For example, helping out a mom and a daughter who were on the road with just their car and nowhere to stay. No, really, they really had no sources to get money or food or anything like that. But thankfully, UMOM was there for them, and they were able to rehabilitate in there and get back on their feet. UMOM knows how to end homelessness in the Phoenix community, and together we can make it happen. Helping this cause does not mean you have to donate millions of dollars or even $1 by simply spreading the word and lending your heart and mind to support people who have no one else to lean on. By the end of this speech, I hope that I can motivate you to get involved with UMOM or any other type of organization like this. And just, maybe you can't spend your money, but you can spend your time and a little bit of your mind in spreading the word of homelessness. The moment family or individual steps into a shelter they are listened to, UMOM learns who they are and what happened to them. Everybody's story is different, and with a sensitive situation like homelessness, there's no cookie cutter way to solve their problem. And you have to be able to know that person a little bit to be able to relate to them and know where they came from to be able to understand their situation a little bit better. With the help of UMOM, they show us how they will overcome their challenges and what their plan of action is to return to the community in a permanent home. Kids who are constantly switching schools due to housing instability tend to perform less well in school, also more likely to have learning disabilities and behavioral problems, not to mention less likely to graduate from high school, which at the end of the day affects all of us. Our greatest natural resource as a country is that the hope of that our youth develop as productive members of society. I believe it is our moral obligation to not ignore these people who desperately need our help. Like I said, every little grain of sand helps. UMOM offers two types of shelter, emergency and extended. The average length of the stay in extended shelter is about 247 days, which is roughly about 5 months. Shelter programs and services are also offered to survivors of domestic violence and human trafficking, which it's like I said, in a low income neighborhood, you see you see drug use, you see war veterans, you see a little bit of all, and people come from all walks of life. But at the end of the day, I believe it is our moral obligation to help each other out to better our community. Personally, seeing homeless people is normal. I've witnessed villages being built by these homeless people under bridges and even in empty lots, people begging at every traffic stop. it's sad reality, especially when that person is clearly not in good health and are unable to work or fend for themselves. There's a lot of times where I've seen people with one arm and one leg in a wheelchair in the rain trying to push themselves across the street to get to shade or to whatever have you. And it's sad, but it's something that does go on. To to conclude my speech, I'd like to say that even though we might not all have $1 million to donate like we might like to, I can't stress enough how important that your mind can be and your support, you being there and showing them those people that you do care and that you do want to see them get out of their situation and become something of themselves. Because, like I said, it's not only adults who are homeless; it's children too, and that's truly a great tragedy. And I think together, this is something that we could help in.